Hi, I'm Sarah Mitchell. Today's story is about how my mother-in-law's manipulation nearly ruined my marriage, but karma had other plans. 3 years ago, I thought I had the perfect life, a successful career as a marketing executive, a beautiful apartment in downtown Seattle, and a great marriage with my husband, James. My home was my peaceful escape, especially my home office where I worked without distractions. Well, almost without distractions. Sarah, darling, shouldn't you be cooking dinner instead of staring at that screen all day? That was my mother-in-law, Patricia. During one of her mandatory weekly dinners, I took a deep breath to keep calm. Actually, Patricia, I just closed a major deal that will boost our company's revenue by 30%. Patricia smiled sweetly but said, "In my days, women prioritized family over these career ambitions. Don't you think so, James?" James just stared awkwardly at his food. "Mom, Sarah's work is important to her, and she's really good at it." "Of course, dear," Patricia replied. "I just worry about your future. When will I get grandchildren if she's always working?" These dinners turned into a weekly nightmare. Patricia criticized everything, my cooking, my work hours, all with her sugary sweet smile that I couldn't stand. Then, James got a big promotion at his software company. I was so happy for him, but Patricia saw it as her opportunity. "Oh, my precious boy, this calls for a celebration," she announced. "I'll move in temporarily to help you both adjust to this new phase." I nearly choked on my drink. "That's really not necessary, Patricia, we can manage." "Nonsense, my doctor says my blood pressure is worrying, and I'd feel so much better staying close to my son." I saw James's face soften with concern. That's when I noticed her trick. Every time she wanted something, a new health issue appeared. Later that night, I confronted James. "Honey, your mother can't move in. This is our space." "It's just temporary, Sarah," he said. "And did you see how pale she looked?" "She looked fine when she criticized my career," I snapped. "You're being unfair. She's just old-fashioned and worried about us," James replied. The next week, I overheard Patricia talking in the garden. "Yes, Margaret, the doctor says I'm fit as a fiddle, but James doesn't need to know that. A mother knows best, and that wife of his needs to learn her place." My hands shook as I recorded the conversation on my phone. Patricia had been lying about her health to manipulate us. I wanted to confront her right then, but I decided to wait. I had no idea this was only the beginning of her plan to take over our lives. A few days later, Patricia arrived with 3 carts of luggage. "Mom, I thought this was just for a few weeks," James asked. "Well, dear, one can never be too prepared," she said. Then she turned to me. "Oh, Sarah, instead of standing there, could you help with these delicate items?" I had to end an important client call early to help. The next morning, I walked into my home office, ready to work, only to find Patricia rearranging my furniture. "What are you doing in here?" I asked. "Oh, darling." Patricia looked at me with her usual fake concern. "I simply can't manage those steep stairs to the guest room with my back condition. The doctor said I need a ground floor space." I frowned. "But this is my office. I have meetings all day." "James, sweetie, could you come here for a moment?" Patricia called. My husband appeared, already dressed for work. "What's wrong, Mom?" "James, the guest room upstairs, it's impossible for my back. My doctor was very clear about not aggravating it." James turned to me. "Sarah, maybe you could temporarily set up in the covered balcony? It's quite spacious." "Are you serious? I have confidential client meetings." "Don't raise your voice at my son," Patricia snapped. Suddenly, she grabbed her chest dramatically. "The stress, I can't breathe." "Mom," James cried. "Sarah, call an ambulance." "No, no ambulance," Patricia gasped weakly. "I just need rest." James helped her to the couch in my office, shooting me an angry look. "Sarah, please, just for a few weeks." That evening, I reluctantly moved my work equipment to the balcony. Through the glass door, I could see Patricia practically dancing around my office, rearranging everything. At 2 a.m., I got up for a glass of water and froze when I heard Patricia's voice coming from my office. "Margaret, you wouldn't believe how well it's working. That little princess actually moved to the balcony. Can you imagine working from there, like some kind of peasant? Phase 1 is complete. James always caves when I mention my health. Give it another month, and I'll have her out completely." I stood frozen, recording everything on my phone. "Oh, and you'll love this, I found her client contact list. I've been making some interesting calls, if you know what I mean, And her laptop? So easy to accidentally spill something on it. Soon, she won't even be able to work from here. James will see that she can't keep up with her job. And then, the next day, during an important video conference, during a crucial presentation, Patricia held up a disconnected Ethernet cable with a fake look of innocence. "Oh, I'm so sorry, was this cable important?" "Patricia, I was in the middle of." "Don't take that tone with me, my nerves can't handle hostility," she snapped. Later that night, I found coffee spilled all over my laptop keyboard. "Must have been the cleaning lady," Patricia suggested with a smug smile. I started locking away my equipment and using a mobile hotspot instead of Wi-Fi, but watching Patricia pretend to be the perfect mother while slowly destroying my career made my blood boil. I knew confronting her directly wouldn't work. I needed a plan to expose her true nature so clearly that even James couldn't deny it. Then, one afternoon, I heard her voice coming from the hidden camera I'd set up in my old office. "Hello, this is Sarah Mitchell, calling to cancel all my upcoming contracts." I froze. Patricia was impersonating me. Later that night, I watched the footage, my hands trembling as I heard her say, "Yes, I want all services terminated immediately. Family comes first, you understand." During my investigation, I stumbled upon something unexpected in James's old photo albums, a wedding picture, but the bride wasn't me, it was another woman. Curious, I dug deeper and found her. Her name was Rebecca, James's ex-wife. We met at a small coffee shop far from my neighborhood. "I never thought I'd hear from James's new wife," Rebecca said. "Ex-wife soon enough, if Patricia has her way," I replied. "Let me guess, sudden health scares, accidents with your work, moving in temporarily that turns permanent?" Rebecca nodded with a sad smile. "Exactly, Patricia sabotaged my work, called my boss pretending to be me, and even tried to convince James the first was cheating. When I confronted her, she had one of her episodes, and James always took her side." "Did she ever take things in your name?" I asked. Rebecca's face grew serious. "Check your credit report. She stole my identity, opened credit cards, and ruined my finances. I only found out after the divorce." That night, I ran my credit report. My heart dropped. 5 new credit cards and 2 personal loans, all opened in the last month. My hands shook as I documented everything. Suddenly, the printer exploded, ink splattering everywhere. Patricia's voice rang through the apartment. The next day, I found my brand new $800 printer destroyed. "Oh, Sarah, your important papers were right here, too. Such a shame," Patricia said sweetly. "Don't worry, Patricia, I have copies," I replied calmly. Her smile flickered, just for a second. Later, I overheard her on the phone with James. "I'm worried about Sarah, sweetie. She seems so unstable lately, always suspicious, taking pictures of everything. Maybe the stress of work is too much for her." The next day, I hired a private investigator. Within a week, the truth came out. Patricia had a long history of insurance scams, suspicious falls in stores, convenient accidents with well-insured cars, and multiple fraudulent claims. That evening, James approached me cautiously. "Sarah, can we talk? Mom thinks maybe you should take a break from work. She's worried about your mental health." "Is that what she thinks?" I asked coldly. "You have been acting strange, taking photos, staying up late." Interesting timing, since her apartment renovations were supposed to be finished weeks ago, I shot back. "She's just concerned about us," James said defensively. "Maybe if you were more understanding, like Rebecca was." His face went pale when I said, "How do you know about your ex-wife, the one your mother drove away?" Patricia thought she was breaking me, but I wasn't Rebecca. I had everything documented, the fraud, the identity theft, the sabotage. She didn't know I was gathering the evidence that would destroy her facade completely. The only question was when to strike. The answer came soon. "Miss Mitchell, congratulations on landing the Thompson account. The VP position in our New York office is yours, if you want it," my boss said. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. That same morning, I anonymously submitted all my evidence to the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit and the State Insurance Fraud Division. That evening, I calmly told Patricia, "I'm moving to New York for a promotion. James can stay here with you since you need him so much." "Running away?" she scoffed. "I always told James you'd abandon him for your career." "No, I'm giving him a choice." James looked shocked. "Sarah, we can talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about. I leave next week. You have until then to decide, your mother or your marriage." 3 days later, There was a knock at the door. Mrs. Patricia Mitchell? We have some questions about several insurance claims and recent loan applications. Patricia looked outraged. This is ridiculous. I've done nothing wrong. Then you won't mind explaining these credit cards opened in Sarah Mitchell's name, the officer said. Patricia's face twisted with rage. She did this. Sarah opened those accounts. She's trying to frame me. The officers didn't budge. Really? Then why do we have video footage of you making calls pretending to be her, and documentation of your past insurance fraud cases? I watched silently as James scrolled through the credit card statements I'd forwarded him, purchases made while I was at work. Then he saw the security camera footage of Patricia using my cards. His voice was quiet but firm. Mom, what did you do? I did it for you. Patricia screamed as the officers led her away. She was going to take you away from me. The next week, I moved to New York. James kept calling, leaving voicemail after voicemail. Sarah, please, I had no idea. Mom's being charged with multiple felonies. She took out loans in my name, too, cleaned out my savings. Please call me back. Delete. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I should have seen it. Please give me another chance. Delete. 6 months later, I was celebrating the close of a $50 million deal when a text popped up from Rebecca. Patricia, guilty on all charges, 7 years in prison for fraud, identity theft, and financial crimes. Another message appeared, this time from James. The divorce papers are signed. I'm in therapy now, dealing with everything. I know it's too late, but I finally understand what Mom did, to you, to Rebecca, to everyone. I'm so sorry. I looked around my beautiful Manhattan office, at the awards on my desk and the stunning view of the city skyline. You're missing team dinner, boss, my assistant poked her head in. Hold on, just finishing something. I glanced back at James's message one last time, then deleted it. Coming, did Marcus pick that amazing Italian place again? I asked, grabbing my coat. As I walked through the lively New York streets, I smiled. Patricia's temporary stay had earned her a permanent residence in state prison. Sometimes karma works in perfect ways. I never replied to James's messages. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. I was too busy living my best life, toxic-free. Have you ever noticed how toxic people always play the victim when they're caught? How would you have handled Patricia's fake fainting spells and health scares? Would you have confronted her right away, or quietly gathered evidence like I did? Some people say I was too harsh with James in the end, but when someone repeatedly chooses their toxic parent over their spouse, where do you draw the line? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story of karma and justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more real stories about dealing with toxic people and coming out stronger. Remember, sometimes walking away is the biggest victory of all.